the reason that I bought this book is it just kept coming on my social media feed, and I've kept kind of looking into it, and then I was just very, very intrigued. And I think I said to you before that it was something so the mystery that surrounded it was actually what made me buy it, because I was just really curious about what it was about, essentially. Um, and so that's the reason why I bought it. And then obviously I finished the book, um, and it's it was fantastic in terms of what an interesting kind of journey to go on. Um, I really enjoyed it. It's not often that I read books a lot, and it's not often that I would read a book consecutively day after day after day after day. Maybe I'll read three, four times a week, but it's very rare for me to actually read something every day. And the way that it was structured made me do that, which was really, really good. And I understand why, because it's there and it's fresh in your mind, and then you get sort of that rest period, so to speak, to sleep on it so that you actually probably digest some of the stuff um, before moving on to the next part. So I finished it in good time. And I think afterwards, I mean, I'm used to reading interesting things, whether it's about psychology or anything to do with spirituality or history or inner work, that kind of stuff. So I'm quite open-minded when it comes to these things. And one thing that I felt with this book, um, after I'd finished it, I still want to read it again because I feel like it's got a lot more to it, and there are probably what's said at the beginning is that you almost feel like you might be reading a different book the second time you read it. So I'm really curious again to see how that kind of works when I read it that second time. Um, I definitely will recommend this to quite a few people. Um, it's a nice keepsake, I think. It's a nice gift as well because it just helps people reframe how they think about themselves, reframe how they potentially perceive other people and the world around them, their own character and other people's characters. Um, and so for me, one of the main sort of impacts that the book had on me, I think, was in terms of not necessarily understanding myself more, um, but maybe in a sense of loosening my sort of grip on, the realization how I perceive the world, how I behave as a character, how I go about my life, um, in terms of relationships with others. It helped me be able to see their perspectives or understand someone else's perspectives a little bit more. Um, and to kind of be a bit more flexible in that respect, that the way I see things and the way I do things or the way I think, um, it's unique to me, I guess. And like I said, it was something that really that kind of helped me potentially see other people's perspectives more from their worlds, so to speak, which obviously are very different from mine. So I think that's probably the main thing. And then who knows, the second time I read it, maybe there'll be much more insights, or maybe I'll have another epiphany at the end of it.